Yes, and on Facebook we're live as well.
Great. Okay, everyone. 9 a.m. again. Here we are.
Yes.
Yeah, is that on? Don't disturb, because this is important. We don't want anybody interfering with this, except
That's
all of you, if you think it's necessary.
Okay.
Right.
Got it all under control now.
Right. Can you see how many people?
Yes.
There are? Okay.
There are some people tuning in already, so
welcome. It's great to have you with us again. So, just in case it's the first time you tune in, it's Richard. I'm Mark. We're the owners of MadamSew. And this is our 6th episode on our journey, which hopefully ends with a beautiful gift for our mom. We have made progress. Should I already do a resume now, or shall we just?
So, yeah, why not? And we can.
At the latest session, we again had our puff that I managed to lose the thread on the top end, which then afterwards blocked. Anyways, that's what unexplained to me. So we keep using the backup machine, and now the puff is the backup of the backup machine. So there we are. It's all under control. It's under control. Don't panic. Okay. So
are you alright? A little bit stressed about
a little bit
making those really long strips today. Well, you're going to be fine.
Let's see how long these are. Anyways, so we had a bit of technical trouble then. However, it's delayed things a little, and then there was Richard. After the episode, he continued and made these. Yeah, now you're going to like this. Right? All of a sudden he likes it. At the end of that, he put all of them together. So now we have 4 of these. 1, 2, and then we're trying not to get ahead of ourselves, but we believe it made sense to pin them together, as there were people already suggesting it at the previous episode. So we put those 2 together, right sides together, and have pinned them only at the seams. So where they should hopefully neatly line up afterwards. Do you think that's a plan? Because these are now very long stretches that we need to put together. So.
Yep. Hi, Tess from Australia, by the way, somewhere nighttime where you are, I think. Good morning, Jeanette. Welcome back, and welcome, Marjorie from California. We have people watching from all over the globe, it seems.
That's great, California. So that's really early.
That's early. Yeah, that's early. What's that? That's like 6? Is it 6?
Yeah, just about 6. Yeah. Awesome. It's so good to have you here as well. So nice of you to tune in with us. So
it's indeed they like my ring impression.
I like it as well. It goes so well with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So unless somebody stops me, I think my next move will be putting these under here and just going for it.
Yeah. Just beware to not lose track. And for how to there was a tip. Put this closer to you. Closer to you.
But if that is a tip, what do I do with all of this?
On the lap?
Yeah. Right.
I guess so. Is that like
there's no other option. There is no other option.
Yeah, but it's kind of
because otherwise
makes it more comfortable.
We've already had lots of very useful tips, I must admit.
Well, for the way how to put them together, there were some different tips, different opinions. Some people said it would be better to make the blocks first and then attach different blocks together. And yet other people said just go north to south, or south to north, or east to west. That's for me, east to west. I guess for you, it's east to west. Anyway.
Do you think you're making sense then? Yeah? Do you think people understand what you're saying?
I hope so. Do you?
Yeah.
Hi, Linda from Florida.
You know me, used to be a teacher.
We've got Rebecca from New Jersey. Yep, and put it on your lap and stitch. You got a confirmation that is the way to go.
And the machine is still not making funny noises, so.
Well, I'm
just making sure that, you know, we had frayed edges because I managed to only wash them whilst they were already cut, so we lost a lot of thread, but it looks like we'll be within quarter inch. So it should be alright.
So after last week's live, I continued with this machine, and actually I like it more. I guess probably everybody sewing has got like a favorite machine or maybe a favorite brand, and this one it's completely different feel than the green machine we were using before. So
and it's probably a cheaper machine, but if it's better, isn't it?
Right.
Maybe could we already put?
No, because I need to attach this to that, right? Or
Would
maybe
it
it's
make
easier.
sense?
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't it be lighter to first do that and then
do the two big ones together?
Yeah. Shall we? Yeah.
Why not?
So get busy, come on. It's nearly Christmas.
I had plans to just do some talking today, but you keep on giving me work.
There's thread on both sides, but that's probably just the edges. Right. So, people, please don't hesitate to intervene, of course. Before we started this, I had only watched other people use the sewing machine and try and test stuff, but I had never actually done it myself. So I welcome everyone who has anything to say. So I will never take it personal, and whatever I do wrong is his fault anyways. So that is a given. So don't hesitate at all.
That was a tip last time as well, to get some thread snips. We got it here, so at the end, you can use that one, Mark.
I will.
So also for that, if you get like a nice tool tip for us to start using, just let us know. Is this one of the snips we're trying out for our store? Is it the one that is going to be it, or haven't we decided yet?
By the way, Isbin is talking to Anne, who is behind the camera, just in case you were wondering. There we are.
Because we don't have anything to close to store it nicely. I like the snips, but it doesn't have.
But it doesn't have a cap that comes with it.
I like a little plastic thingy.
Cap, but that was what the people watching last time said, that it's just.
You need a cover. That's what they said.
You just need a cover.
Yeah. So until we get that right, we will not sell it. But when we do,
That's just.
A snip.
Don't panic.
Maybe this is easier to do. So.
Right. Tell me this happens to you every now and then as well. Or is it just me? Is it still? Yeah, alright. Panic. I must say, this keeps on going. How long is this? Thank God this is not a quilt size, a king size. So basically what we hope to achieve now is definitely get those together, and then together with you to have a good plan to put, how to proceed afterwards. The clock is ticking, but we want to do it right as well, of course.
This is done. Let me see. You can pin the next panel and keep Mark sewing. Yeah. I'll keep him sewing. Did you nest the seams so they lay better?
Sorry?
Nest the seams.
What is nesting the seams on? Or maybe, who asked that question? Who asked that question?
That was Linda.
Linda.
He didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
With his nesting
Nesting.
seeds.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
I
you have to pin
also
on
pin the
seams.
seams.
Yeah, so marks
Ah,
those over
yeah.
them that they don't like.
Oh, yeah, get stuck. Yeah,
Now
yeah.
you just pin those two together, but it's better to pin on.
Oh, okay,
on the
that's
seam.
great.
And choose a direction.
Choose a direction.
Like here you see that it's in this direction, but it could be, well, it's not.
Well,
but
it's
a
going
line,
this
yeah,
way, so.
yeah.
Okay.
You see how you iron them
Yeah.
before.
Okay. Nesting the seams. Another.
Technical term we now know.
Yes.
All right. Now, I want to do this. And they actually stick together. What do you think, Richard?
I'm thinking that pinning is not the most fun thing to do while making a quilt. That's what I'm thinking at the moment.
Well, actually, I'm pretty proud of this already. So you keep pinning, and I'll keep doing the nice stuff.
Here you go. It's all like pins with nested pins and stuff.
Right. That, for me, it's very important that they're really well nested, it seems. So,
Place your pins in horizontally. That's what Anne demonstrated now. And so over the pins, then you can take them all out at the same time.
think about it.
Yeah.
At the same time, you just go
But
all over, and then at the end,
But at the end,
not everybody agrees with that.
like Anne is,
No.
is somebody who doesn't
No.
agree.
We already
but,
told once.
of course, and you're only one.
Yeah.
And
But
the viewers
that's
are
just
majority.
we've tried the other thing, so
But can I just want the needle hit the pin then?
Well,
you just aim for it, Mark.
It's all needles and pins, isn't it?
We need to get going.
Deborah writes, not a good idea to sew over the pins.
Okay, right.
Well, we'll see if it's a good idea.
But I don't want to break the needle again.
We've got enough spare needles
Well, for our
somewhere.
for our speed, it's not going to do wonders if we break the needle, right?
Please do it, Mark. I want to see what happens.
Jeanette says no.
There we go.
It's madness.
It's
To go, maybe
just one, please. There we go.
so the pin actually goes under the needle.
That's what she said.
You just hope that it's just before and after.
Yeah.
That's it. It doesn't go over.
But you've got a good feeling about this.
I've got it.
This is why everything is always his fault. And I'm supposed to be the
Tess-
elder brother
Tess-
responsible
Tess-
on everything.
Tess does it like that all the time, and she's made like thousands of quilts, I'm sure. Look at that!
It works! Right, but that was only one. Maybe we got lucky. Maybe we just got lucky.
But here, the head of the pin is on the wrong side. We're not going to do that. I don't have a good feeling about that. So, but you can go a little bit further.
So next time, be more conscientious when you put the pins in, will you?
If you put pins in at an angle, you can easily sew over them.
Alright, so that is not horizontal then.
It's like a little bit.
Oh, well, it's you that do it, but you do the pinning, so remember what they said.
Look at the speed. Look at the speed.
And the next one is again.
Yeah, I guess the one that was correct. That was the one that ended.
No, you did really well on that first one. You did really well, Richard.
So maybe do a poll with the people watching. Give us a thumbs up if you think that it's a good idea to sew over the pins, and give us a heart if you think that it's not a good idea. So a thumbs up if you think that it's a good idea to sew over the pins when they're incorrectly, obviously, and a heart if you think, no, that's not a good idea. What? This is getting personal.
Oh, 2 hearts.
You see what happens when Richard just wants to be right.
No, I don't want to be right. I want to do a
4,
poll.
5, 6 hearts.
Is there a lot of hearts?
Maybe they're just giving us lots of love. It's
It's
just a
from the-
coincidence, basically.
That they all just felt it's coming now, and they wanted to send us some love, and suddenly I asked that question. Yeah,
I so feel it as well.
you just okay. So
Oh, thumbs up.
a thumbs up.
That was for my heart. And they are indeed. I must say the alignment is remarkably well.
Thank you.
I wish I didn't sound so surprised, but I am. Nearly there. Oh, and then quickly you will need to
The
pin both those
needle
together. Are you ready?
rolls over the pins.
Okay. Are you ready to pin these together?
So we got 2 strong believers in sewing over pins, and that's Taz and Linda. And there's a third one. That's Richard. Okay.
Defy the odds.
Did you see Jeanette?
Defy the odds.
Did you see
Maybe Quilt.
what Jeanette wrote? We do love you, just don't sew over.
Right.
The steps. It's much faster if you put down the scissors and go over the steps.
Right. Okay. So
Now
now
we're
we
going
just
to do
need
it.
to humor him. Now, make sure we. Is it still? Yeah.
Is this it?
Is this it? Because this would be.
Is this correct? Would be not really fun. No.
Is this it?
Correct?
That is correct. With these in the middle every time again. Now, the other possibility is like that. Isn't that then just the same? That would be identical, wouldn't it?
Or actually, the second one was on this side.
Does it matter? It doesn't.
I want to be
It's
sure.
It's symmetrical. Right. Did you know he's got a master's in science? You wouldn't think so when you see him do this.
I'm a scientist. I want to test everything.
So it means he's forever in doubt. So that's just not exactly what it was before, but with the other edges.
Isn't that beautiful?
Okay, come on. And now we're on finish.
And Anne has a hard time staying in her seat. I'll go help them doing the pins. If you do a pin, that's fine by me, but do nest them, please. And with the head to the right side.
So what is the right side?
You can sew over. A little bit
So
diagonally.
in which direction do we nest the seams?
In the direction you sew, or if there's not another option, and you just see if they're nicely aligned.
After all this time, I got one done. Well, it's only like half an inch out, so I'm cool. I'm cool.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
Thank you. Right. So I went to the quilt store already because we had tips last time that, and we agreed totally that finding for the backing, finding the same fabric as the little squares would probably be prettiest. And I found it. So there was enough because I found the other ones in the fat quarter section, but luckily they had it in the full sizes as well. So this is what we'll use for the backing, and we got the batting here as well. So after I sew this, we'll be asking you how to proceed.
What's the next step?
Yeah, how do we now get, because we'll have a piece of batting, a piece of fabric, and then this, which we'll need to join up.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Make the sandwich. How do we move forward?
Yeah. So maybe you can, this is already the fabric.
Yeah, I'm just reading some comments. Penny says that she irons the seams like nicely flat so that we don't need to pin. Well, it's pinned now, so that's for our next quote. It's like for the Eastern present or something. Do we get Eastern presents? No. Birthday.
No, we could do.
Are you adding borders? Yeah, that I do think that. Well, that's something we want to hear. What's the best way now? My idea, in some way, is that we lay down the backing like this, with the wrong side up, and nicely open, obviously, and then we put the batting. The batting on top of that, without packaging, and then we put the top on it, and then we kind of use the backing to go around in some way to fold it over or something to make it a nice end, and that would be like the border of the quilt. But please let us know what you think is feasible for us, what is the best way for a beginner, and
I think making the strip thingies on the sides, like that it just looks so difficult. So if we can have the easy option, please, that still looks really good. That's what we're after.
Indeed. You can certainly often get away with sewing over pins, but I do not ever with my electronic machine. I understand that you don't want your electronic machine to be damaged by those pins. We've got like, I think, a $50 machine here. So,
yeah.
But still, we don't want to break it, and it seems to be alright. You sew over some pins already.
I'm continually sewing over every pin.
But then you shouldn't forget to remove them, or it would be like not a good idea.
We were going to take them out all at the same time.
Pressing seams makes nesting easier, obviously. You need to add the borders before you put the backing on.
That's if we're going to put borders on.
Okay. A border is like a strip of fabric? No, we're not going to put additional patches, no. So the border, I was talking about, how do you call that? The binding. Yeah, the binding. I think it's called binding of a quilt. Like the thing you use to, like, yeah, you have like the top, you got the bottom, you got the batting, and then, yeah, you don't want to be able to see that, so you need to close that in some way. And I read one comment last time that you could make it all inside out, like you would make
a bag, basically.
A bag or something, indeed. And then at the end you turn it back to the right side out, leaving one piece open to do that, and then close that. But I do think that some binding is.
But it's going to show as binding, of course. It's going to go around.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, you should cut 3 strips of material and border. Then you can sandwich. So cut 3 strips of material and border. Can you, like, Deborah? Can you like what's the width of a strip of material? 3 in strips of material and border.
Right, so
and then you can sandwich. Okay. The binding is sewn separately at the end. Okay, so we first make the full quilt and then we do the binding. Adding a border makes it larger and frames your blocks. Well, I don't think we're going to add any border, just binding at the end. So is it correct? And give us a thumbs up if you agree. If it's correct that when Mark is done sewing the top, that we kind of move forward making the sandwich. Is that what you agree with? Next step is the sandwich, and then the last step is the binding. Is that it? 3 inches of material as the border.
What I bought
that's
is that we would
that's
add.
the border again.
Yeah,
that's the border again. So
What I bought the fabric for is that half an inch, so for the size, that only,
Yeah,
so
it's
for,
not binding.
yeah, but the size then of the binding, what I bought the fabric for is to have half an inch at the side.
Okay.
Or actually a full inch actually on the side.
Is that the size of the strip? Because then you...
It's the size of what will be shown.
Shown, okay.
So what is going to be...
That's what the lady in the Quilt shop said?
That's when we discussed a little bit how wide does this need to be in a format. Let's do an inch, and if it needs to be less, we have more fabric.
Binding is the last thing, okay. If you're happy with the size, then don't add a border. So we're not going to add a border. And I think you should border it first. Okay, sorry, Deborah, you've been really, really helpful, but the border is something that we're not going to do.
Not this time.
Like the binding is one thing that is going to add something at the sides. It's going to frame it as well, but it's not going to be like a 3-inch wide border or something.
Woohoo!
Look at that. Do we have a full? Maybe you put it like this.
Yeah, if we stand up too high, we're out of the screen. But
Yeah. That's just it. Yeah.
What do you think?
Like it? Do you like it? Let's put it on the table. I would like to see it.
God, this so looks like a quilt already. Neat.
There's been times that I thought that this was a finished quilt.
Yeah.
But I guess we still have a lot of work ahead of us. But we're making nice progress.
Yeah. So here there's going to be a bit of seam allowance, but with the conclusion from what you discussed with the viewers, if we size up the batting, is that we need to have that stick out a little because it goes in that side binding, right? Because we're going to make this, there's going to be about an inch of that other fabric that comes back, right? So if we put the batting in, it needs to be wider than this.
The batting?
Yes. The batting needs to stick out, protrude a little, because the backing will come all the way here and then be folded back and attached. Correct? Is that how we're going to do it?
Well, there's some disagreement in the comments, different opinions. Be sure you press it well before you put the sandwich together. So by next time, we'll make sure that we press this nicely. Do we, Linda, do we need to press in one specific direction? Or do we just press it the way the seams are laying now already? Just put them flat again?
Does that matter? Yeah. So when we echo,
yeah,
is that supposed to look like that?
Well, that's because the seam and the seam,
Yeah, there's no way around it. So we'll just iron those flat.
So we put this as the bottom side of the quilt.
That's the plan. Obviously,
We cut it to size.
Yep.
That's a nice question as well. How do you cut that to size?
Yes. Do you try to do this with a rotary cutter in pieces? Because we don't have a mat that is that big. Or do you use scissors? Iron the seams to flatten out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But how do we cut this to size? This is something I don't have a clue at the moment. We need to cut this to size as well, I guess.
Obviously. So that's nice and soft.
You'll never feel it.
Well, won't you? A little bit through the fabric, won't you?
Maybe. And then put that on top. Like this.
So if we look at 1 inch.
Okay, layer it up, inside out, stitch all around, leaving an opening. Yeah, so that's what I was saying. So inside out, that's the way you could do it, and then you don't have any binding needed.
Yeah, and then we just take care that it measures up to go.
I partially open seams so that dark colors are against the dark squares and the light colors against the light squares. So that would be all different pieces of binding, I think.
Ooh, that sounds complicated.
I think it's a direction of how to iron the seams, no? Like we did it at the beginning.
So that they don't show
Yeah,
through
yeah,
the
yeah.
lines.
Open the seams, dark colors are against the dark square. Yeah, yeah, okay,
Well,
okay.
top
It's
tip.
not,
Yeah, absolutely. So that we don't see the red shining through the white.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, thank you. That is very valuable as well. Uh-oh. You're in charge of the things. So it's good measuring, and then has somebody already answered how we actually cut long
Strips.
Yeah.
And like in
Is that just with a pair of scissors? Do we draw a line and then? Yeah.
This way too
I like
much
what
work.
makes this. Yeah.
For first time.
I'm getting confident, but if we could keep it as simple as possible, that's probably wise, isn't it?
So I guess we.
So we'll have to first measure this, cut this, and then put this with the good side on the good side of that, inside out, and then we sew them together. Is that in short what we now need to do?
And the batting in between.
Does the batting go already in? Because when it's inside out, the batting is out, isn't it? You don't you don't attach the batting to the side, do you? Or do you?
I don't know. We'll I see our time is up for this episode. Keep sending us the comments as you already did massively now. But we are wondering if we want to have what we want is to end up with something that. No,
but
I want to move that one.
No, because this goes over.
Yeah. No, we can move it over.
Yeah.
But I don't want to.
But we don't want. What we want is this. Just a second. This. And this stays in here like this.
That's like 2 inch.
Well,
You said half an inch.
yes. Like this.
The scientists.
Like this.
That's
There's batting in here, but okay. Indeed, that's a full inch. But the principle is this.
The idea is
Right?
that.
And the batting goes all the way to this side. But when we put these two together, do we already need to connect with the batting?
I don't think if you add these together inside out, then you're gonna have this view from the top.
Correct. And correct. But you iron it here. And then you see this, because this is longer than this. And then it goes over the side, and we don't need to. And then
So then it all depends on
how you cut, but it goes to seam allowance. So if we stitch right, then all of a sudden we're finished. Is that taking it too far, or you see we're doing this?
Measure twice, then cut. Press seams towards the darker fabric. The fabric wide enough. For that, you need to measure. Do we have enough of the? Yeah, we do. Look at that. The fabric is more than wide enough to do that.
Yeah,
okay, let's end it here. We'll
read all your comments. So we'll definitely read all of those before we do anything next. And we'll try to match them up. And then
when does the quilting happen actually? So like the stitch in the ditch or whatever quilting we are going to use, is that after finishing the whole sandwich? After we kind of do the thing that Mark described here, or whatever other thing we're going to do? Or is it first doing that? That's a question I have as well.
Okay, but as you said, we'll finish here. And if somebody has the answer to that question, do put it in the comments.
Yep.
Because we promised that we take half an hour's episodes.
Yep.
So we'll just try not to overrun.
Yep.
Shall we?
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Well, we made it. We made the top. We were able to lay out the sandwich and ask our questions. And we'll be back on Thursday. We will schedule the next live for Thursday, right when this live ends, and then you'll be able to put your reminder so that you can watch the next time. And the link to all the different episodes is in the description if you want to look at what different pattern, what kind of pattern we're using. It's all explained there. So if you want to sew along or also start making a quilt like this, it's all explained there.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you again for being with us, for holding our hands, so to speak. All been very useful, and I'm so getting into this. I'm starting to love this. So I'd love to see you again on Thursday, and we'll build some more.
Okay.
See you.
See you. Bye bye.